like to welcome you back to the Coach's Show, where we give you an inside look of Capitol High's respective sports and an inside look of what's going on. Again, we're here with football coach, head coach Johnny Duncan, offensive coordinator Clay Bird, defensive coordinator Timothy Lloyd. Fellas, so we're sitting around now with a different vibe after homecoming week, huh?
Yes.
Lots of festivities went on. I understand the faculty have won both the volleyball game and the basketball game.
Oh, yeah.
And finished off with a win last night over Mentorship Academy.
Yes, sir.
So,
well, I mean,
where you want to start?
What can I say? It's been a long time coming. Me personally, I don't really like the homecoming festivities because it takes away the focus. The kids were a little flat because they had so much fun dancing and all of that. But once we got that out of our system, we was able to, get a hard-fought victory. I think we worked a little too hard for that one, but I'll take it any way we can get it.
A win's a win at the end of the day, and I echo the statements that Coach Johnny made. In terms of the fight we had to put up. There's a few opportunities that we had to where we can really extend the lead to either 2 or 3 scores, and we just didn't capitalize on a couple of things. But a win's a win at the end of the day.
We finally got a shutout defensively, and they played tremendously. They raided the keys all night. You know, of course, we're not going to stop every play, so they moved the ball, and it looked like they was going to have an opportunity to do something. But at the end of the day, the defense wanted it a lot more, and to make sure we don't give up no fluke plays. And it was on top of everything that we went over through the week.
So I'm sure they came in with a lot of enthusiasm with, all the festivities going on through the week and with that, win or go home kind of mentality, especially a lot of seniors. You have, 9 seniors on the team?
9 seniors.
That really wanted to keep the thing going. So
they really fought for it last night. It was a no holds barred. We're not going to lose this game. Every time you look up, a senior's like, Coach, I'm put me in. I got you. Even defensively, Mr. Capitol himself, Lorenzo Guy, he stepped up tremendously on defense. He stepped up real big. One of the other safeties wasn't performing as well as he did previous weeks, and I put him in. I told him what to do. And he did it, and he made, some real great plays. And it just lets you know the type of kids that we have on this team that, you could put them anywhere and they'll listen to you.
Right, and I'm sure the team is built of a lot of players that, I guess I call them step-up players. Those players who, where do you need me to go, what do you need me to do, and I'll make it happen for you.
Well, we had a conversation with our seniors and told them, this could be your last game. This is it. Your 10th game of the year, barring the playoffs. And your last homecoming, either you can play hard, win your homecoming game, or just take it easy, take things for granted and lose your homecoming, and this is how you want to end your senior season, with a bad taste in your mouth. And we had I'm trying to think which every senior stepped up in some kind of way. We had one of the quietest seniors lead the chants in Coesley Brown. That had me. I had a loss for words because I was wondering who was that, because I didn't think. He had that much enthusiasm, and he got up and started leading the chants. When you get someone like that, then everybody else kind of like feeds on it, and
that's great.
It's like adding fuel to the fire. We looking around like, who is that? He never says anything, but he was enthusiastic, ready to roll. I'm just on fire last night.
And throughout the game, one of the things I did notice was a lot of flags, a lot of penalties. not going to necessarily comment on which side most of them seem to be on, but do you think that had some? I mean, the score was 6-0, and I've watched the team play, and definitely better than 6 points. Do you think that kind of took the wind out of some of the sails of the players? Every time you look around, some game, some big play. I know one was a sack for a significant loss. Got called for horse collar, and then toward the end of the game, there was a pass interference, which a lot of people were still looking for the penalty there.
It was a safety that we got called back for hands to the face or something like that. I mean, it just we can't really dwell on what happened with the penalties. I think the penalties had a big, tremendous outcome of the game. I mean, it was easily 20+0 without the penalties.
Yeah, it was crazy because it seems like every time defensively we'll get a real big stop, or we'll get a big sack or force a fumble. It seems like they just find a way to, hey, we're gonna give mentorship another opportunity to maybe do something with the ball and try to get some momentum for the game. But the one thing the kids did do, they didn't let that affect their game play. That actually helped motivate them every time they felt like they were being wronged and saying like a pass interference call at the end of the game. The entire secondary was like, that's all right. They ain't gonna score this mug anyway. And sure enough,
right.
On the very last play, one of the upcoming juniors who will be a senior next with Edwin Westbrook Young, made a tremendous play. He ain't try to intercept the ball. He just said, you know what, I'm going to kill y'all hopes and dream by swatting this ball to the ground.
Yep. And, I mean, the penalties did play – excuse me. It seems like every play there was a flag on the field. So we didn't know who it was going against or what was going on, but the players did a great job of playing through that. They didn't let it affect them. He went out, oh, well, let's do what we got to do to get this ball back. Hey, let's do what we got to do to get the ball in the end zone. Move the ball down the field. So they really did an excellent job in terms of not really focusing on the mistakes and playing ball throughout the entire game.
I mean, it was pretty interesting to watch too, because I mean, mentorship came in with a O for season 2, and they kind of come in with the same mentality. Credit to them. Is it win or go home? So you would expect it to be, that grunge match. When you step on the field, and talk about a football game. That's kind of what you expect to see. Two teams really, really going at it. When you talk about the penalties and some of the mistakes, it is what it is. And as you said, at the end of the day, it is a victory. So now we kind of sit and wait for the announcement, huh? Yeah,
10 o'clock Sunday, we'll know who we'll have in the playoffs. We hoping for a couple of teams to slip up between last night and tonight. So we could either make a better move, a better jump up to play, play someone that's, I'm going to say a little more compatible to us.
Right.
Either way it go, we will be on the road. So we want everybody to come out and come show up and support wherever we have to go.
Yeah, we'll know exactly who we play on. Like he said, Sunday, 10:30. So we're just excited about another week of getting these kids prepared and ready to go.
So kind of looking forward, I know a lot of teams kind of moved their games up to Thursday or last night simply because of the anticipation of inclement weather. So have you all kind of followed those scores and kind of gotten, some sort of idea of what you'd be facing, and then looking forward to scores tonight?
Well, as a matter of fact, I know me and Coach Lloyd were looking earlier. A few teams that are right in front of us. A couple of them lost, and then a couple of them won. We didn't get a chance to really look at the higher seeded teams, but I know a few of them that's right in front of us did take losses on last night, and a couple of them haven't played yet. So we've been looking at it.
Then also you got to look at the top half of the bracket. Also, the top, I'm gonna say the top 10 teams on what they do, because you have some teams who are in the same district and they're sitting right behind each other. Like Northeast and East Feliciana, they're sitting like 7 and 8 or 8 and 9. So they play each other tonight. So either one is gonna move up or the other is gonna move down. Either way it go, one of them will be moving, and it will just determine. Would we love to have another playoff game in Baton Rouge? Yes, we would, because we see anybody that's in our district, you ain't gonna beat us twice in a row.
Right.
And what this victory did is you gave a group of kids confidence beyond belief. They never let their head down. They never, no matter what touchdown they called back on us, what penalty they called on us, they came back even stronger. So that's a dangerous team to play in the playoffs. Even though we made a lot of mistakes on offense, the mistakes that we made, we still got positive yards. We still got, according to the stats in the paper, we had 54 yards in the first quarter alone. And I've seen so many mistakes. So we can make up the mistakes. I'm telling you, whoever we end up playing, if they underestimate us, they're going to be in trouble.
And I guess that kind of goes to the spirit of the players, mentality of the players, having been so close in so many games, especially with the McKinley game, and then we go back to the, was it Christian Life game?
Exactly.
And it was, one other game. I can't remember exactly who the opponent was, but you get to that game and you're so close. Positive game, good yards, great plays, few mistakes, right there at the edge, and then you kind of short, and then you finally get it this last game going into the playoffs. So that has to be very, very good for momentum, mentality, and what to expect from them, going forward.
Yeah, I call it catching fire. I always tell them if we catch fire, we're going to burn through the playoffs. And right now, the kids are on cloud 9.
Yeah.
I always tell them, I can't play for you. Coach Lloyd, Coach Clay cannot play for you. You have to play for yourself. Right. And last night, the defense always played good all year. We just couldn't get clicking on offense. Last night is probably their best, even though we didn't get the turnovers we usually get, was probably their best defensive performance, because they had their backs against the wall on several occasions. And,
right.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter. We got all kinds of things, obstacles in our face, and I told them, don't matter what happened, keep playing the way you're playing. Keep playing, keep fighting hard, keep doing it, and they did. If the team that we play underestimate me, you can, ladies and gentlemen out there in TV land and radio land, you can mark my word, if the team underestimate, I don't care who it is, they're going home. You cannot take us lightly. If you come out there playing around, because the offense gonna start clicking. They gonna start clicking. I mean, we only threw the ball 5 times.
Ooh, they be mentorship.
We only threw the ball 5 times. We did a new offense that we ran, only started 1 week, and we was able to control the ball smooth. Don't underestimate us. I'm telling you.
And I kind of noticed that it was only 5 passes. So was that kind of the game plan coming in to keep the ball on the ground, keep it moving forward, pound them out?
Said all year that we can't be a one-dimensional team.
Right.
We pass mostly the whole season, and we just couldn't get the line to block. We couldn't get the running game going. So this game, I said I will establish a run. One way or another, we're going to run this ball, pass when we have to, and run it. And just ironically, the touchdown was a pass. I was trying to get the ball in the end zone, but when we had to pass, we made the adjustment. We passed, we scored, but we control. But what running does, when you're running straight up hard-nosed football, it makes the defensive line tired. They don't want to tackle much more. So when you do decide to open it up, they too tired to come in and get your quarterback. The cornerback's tired because we pound. We pound it. I didn't care if we got 1 yard or -1. I wanted to beat the line up and then wear them down. So now when you're playing a team that's small like that, their defensive line is also their offensive line. So when they get in there, they can't stop our rush. They can't stop our linebackers. That's why we was able to get back and make, 15-yard sacks and, a lot of tackles behind the line because their line was tired from playing both sides of the ball.
And that's something we really are privileged of. I try not to use a lot of the offensive linemen on the defensive side of the ball because we have 14 linemen, but sometimes you got to take some other kids who really could go both ways. And, shout out to Devontae Green and Willie Robertson and Thaddeus Stewart for also stepping up in times of need on the defensive side of the ball because, again, the defensive line, the starting actual defensive line is only one senior. The other 3 are freshmen. So
freshmen.
When the experience come.
And I noticed Duhan was on both sides of the ball last night as well. He had a couple of carries. How did that work out?
It did. He was on both sides of the ball. We gave him, a few carries. Let him. He's more of a physical person, so wanted to pound him in. Wanted to pound him. Let him wear out some of those linebackers, like Coach said. Both of them, a lot of their players are two-way players. So, they're tired on defense. They're going to even be that more tired on offense. Give him some carries. Let him beat him up physically. You get tired of running somebody, head up with somebody over and over and over again. Somebody's going to do something. And that's what we used him for. He came in. He provided some good blocks for us as well, opened up the holes for the other running backs as well. So, and he did his thing on defense as well.
Our players are trained to go both ways if need be. They are trained to not get tired during the game.
Survive that Johnny time, huh?
That's the purpose of the shirts. I survived Johnny time because Johnny time was given to me when I was head coach at Astruma, and we used to run 75 to 80 sprints a day before practice, between offense and defense, and then at the end of practice. And I only had 18, 19 players, so you had to be in shape.
Right.
So when it became, the kids said, well, man, it's Johnny time. And it just stuck with it. So now it's just a part of the culture of our football team. You got to be in shape. Whether I got 15 players or I got 50 players, you never know when you're going to be called on both sides of the ball. And that's the best way to be. If you're in shape, you're going to always outlast the other team. And that's just a philosophy I picked up a couple of years ago, and I'm going to stick with it because it works. Our guys were in tremendous shape last night. They tapped their helmet a couple of times to get in and get out, but it was maybe 1 play, 2 play, get a little water. Coach, I'm ready to go back in. Because no team we're going to face going to ever be in better shape. And right now, the technique is coming, the terminology of the game is coming, the speed of the game is coming, and they are picking on all the defense, picking up on everything Coach Lord teaching. Offense is picking up what Coach Bird teaching them now. Like I said, it's never the end until you lose that playoff game. And now it's a new life. The records are 0-0. No such thing as 0-9, 1-10, 1-9, whatever. It's 0-0. It's no power ratings, no nothing. Okay? We might be ranked down at 25, 24, whatever we going to get. That's a dangerous person, a team to play.
Right. Well, in closing, any closing thoughts going forward?
I got one thing to say. If the team we play underestimate us, they going home. And we will have a game at Memorial Stadium
the following week
on the best day of the year, Friday the 13th. Bet that.
By law.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Pride of Capital. You heard it from Coach Johnny Duncan himself. Not to be underestimated going into this 0-0 scenario. Finished the regular season 1-9 with a victory over Mentorship Academy, and now waiting for the announcement of seeding for playoffs. Find out who they'll be facing. Closely watching the games, rest of the games, should I say, tonight, to see who comes out on top, who falls, who moves, what the case may be. Sunday starts a brand new day. We'll know who's where. Start watching film, start the preparation, and postseason is underway.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, as always, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to it next time.
Thanks for having me.
So long.